Welcome back to Ride Rescue. In this episode, I want to tackle this bed. I need to get a good idea of how many parts I need to order, whether I have to replace half the bed, the front section of the bed, or hopefully just the skin of the right side. So once I get the skin up, I'll be able to tell just how far I need to go. So this is the area that I was trying to get exposed so I could see how bad the damage was. These two pieces are replaceable, but I don't want to have to drill out the spot welds and re-weld this on if I don't have to. It looks like I should be able to just pull it out. It's just bent a little bit on this end and pushed in a little bit. So I'm pretty confident I'll be able to pull that out. But mainly it's this area. This area is all pushed in. If the fender well has pushed down into the floor of the bed, and so if I can just pull all this straight out, it'll straighten up, it'll pull it up out of the floor. There's no real creases or anything in here that I have to worry about straightening out. It's just got this long bow in it. You can see the shape here, how smooth it is. There is a crease right here that I'll have to straighten out. So like I say, once I pull all this out, I should be able to massage that. And most likely I'm going to have to repaint the backside of this bed. So I'm going to do a rhino liner or some kind of a spray-in bed liner anyways to protect the bed. So what I'm about to attempt, this fender well has rolled over. This whole side is rolled in and it has buckled the floor. Where this pushed down, it's pushed down at this seam and it's pushed up as the seam rolled and moved back. But the fender well is fairly straight. It's got some dents in it. This was a work truck, obviously. I mean, it was only 8 months old when it was wrecked, but this bed is really beat up just from use, let alone the accident. So what I'm going to do is, just beyond that fender well is parts that are on the other side of this, where those are spot welded on. The impact had pushed into that area and has bulged this inner skin as well. So I'm going to push on that bulge at the same time. I'm hoping it will just kind of roll everything up, and then I'll be able to just take and knock that floor down flat. So in theory, hopefully that works. I'm going to give it a shot. I have a hydraulic ram that I'm going to push from corner to corner. That corner is really solid where that hoop is, the anchoring point. So I'm going to jack against that, and I'm going to watch and really pay attention to that seam so I don't blow that seam out. As long as I don't put too much pressure on it, I won't blow it out. And that area where the paint is all chipped off, there's spot welds around that lip. You can see the spot welds right there. That goes all the way up and over that fender well. That area right there is pushed in. It's probably pushed in 3/4 of an inch, I'd guess. So I'm going to put a block right there and put my jack against that block and see if I can push all that damage out. Amazing. I just pushed it all back. Just rolled everything back nice and easy. But yeah, that was just too easy. That stayed put. It didn't push out at all. There was just plenty of strength on that side. And this just rolled right out. Wants to relax back again, so I'll jack it back out a little bit more, and then I'll tap along all these seams, and then hopefully it stays put. This should be flat. This should be a slight angle. So when it got hit, it folded in So I'm going to jack it up and flatten this out so that it matches the other side. And then this is pushed in, and I should be able to just get in on the back side of it and tap it out. Well, this top side looks about where it needs to be. This is still pushed out, so I'll work that once I get the fender so that I have a reference as to where it should be. I can see this is rolled in just a little bit when it looks like it should be flat, so I'll go ahead and roll that, flatten it out, and then, like I say, I'll wait till I get the fender to really finish this up. It's looking good. That was a close one. I got my jacks up as high as I could get it. I made these out of some aluminum scrap that I had that are just kind of modular pieces for shelving. That worked out great. I did a strap from loop to loop and then tied the straps. I tried to use my cable come along, but I couldn't get enough pull on it, and these were just barely far enough. Now I have a table I'm going to lower this down onto. Work. I'm pretty sure I can save this inner skin. I've got to get this outer skin off though. It's spot welded on and it's crimped and all crushed in here. So what I need to do is cut this top part off, and then I'll probably just snip along this edge and pull it out with some pliers so that I can drill those out. My splitter tool is still on back order, so I'm going to have to just keep abusing my Craftsman. Didn't have to abuse my screwdriver for that one. Well, I got the outer skin off. You can see how this is twisted and pushed in. That is on a 90-degree angle, and it's supposed to be flat. You can see on this end, it's perfectly flat, except this little crimp edge, and then there is a filler hole right there, a little plug, and you can see on this piece, there's the plug. So this needs to be pulled out and lined up at the back there. But it's not all distorted and stretched. And then once I pull this out straight, it'll lift this up. So I'll be able to save this piece. I almost ordered it thinking that it was going to be ruined, but I thought, well, I'll see if I can straighten it first before I order a new one. But I'm liking where this is going. Once I get the outer skin on here, then I'll be able to finish manipulating this. And it does have a piece of rubber trim, so this will be hidden. You will never see it if I don't have it perfect, but I'm a perfectionist, so I'll make it perfect. There's a wave inside of there. See that? That should be straight. Shouldn't have that wave. So I'll have to get in there and manipulate that and straighten this out so that it flattens this out. And then I can continue smoothing this out as well. A little bit there too. Perfect fit. In comparison, the fresh original OEM side and the damaged, beat up, pounded on side. Notice I still have a ridge right here sticking out. That should be flat. You can see on this side how it's just perfectly flat, and then it just has those notches to stiffen up the edges. Well, those notches on this side are stiff, but they've pushed out right along here. So I need to just take my hammer and work that down gently so I don't end up with a bunch of hammer marks. When I say gently, I mean not beat on it with a little light hammer and end up with a lot of hammer marks. If I use a fairly heavy dolly on the back side and a fairly heavy dead blow on the front side, I should be able to work that down without really beating it. So I'll hold the dolly along this edge, and then I'll be able to push that in. Now I can take my hammer and then just work down that high spot. It feels pretty good. And I'll put this flat and tap on it. Now I've got this smooth enough, I shouldn't have to use any fillers on it at all. Especially with the texture, the natural metal bending and stretching that was on here. If I just smoothen out the paint and then put on a heavy coat of primer surfacer, I won't need any filler. Got 4 spot welds down there that I had to drill up to get. These 2 up here I'll leave until I get those done, and I'll drill these 2 out, and then the whole thing will pop off. But now that I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and drill them. I'm just not going to pop them. All you car and truck enthusiasts, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm here to learn, to teach, and hopefully to inspire. So hit my subscribe button. I really appreciate you subscribing. Leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. If you like what I'm doing, please give me a like. Thanks again for watching.